Hey guys, what's up? We are back with part 8 of my Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires Balthasar Gelt stream slash let's play. I just want to remind you guys that if you do want to watch ahead a little bit, the streams are available, the replays are available on DLive for 1 week after the recording, at which time they're automatically deleted after the week is up, unless you're like a partner or something. I think you can keep them around for a little bit longer. But yeah, if you guys are interested in watching ahead a little bit, you have the opportunity to do so. But I mean, if not, I mean, thanks for watching on YouTube. I do really appreciate all of the support you guys have given the channel. Feel like the channel is getting a little bit of a resurgence. I went through a little bit of a lull there over the summer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a tough summer for the for me with the channel, to be honest. But I feel revigorated and re-energized and ready to take on some different things and try and see if I can bring the channel to the next level. And I mean, DLive is kind of the first phase of that, and we'll see how it goes and see what we can do. But in the meantime, we have a campaign to continue here. So we got peace last time with the dwarves, thank goodness. I mean, and not that we were really fighting with the dwarves. I mean, I don't even know when war got declared on us. It was weird. I was just looking at the campaign map and the diplomatic status, and this was all red. I'm like, what the hell? And looked, and sure enough, we're at war with the dwarves. I don't know when that happened, but it did happen. Was a war with no battles, no casualties, nothing. And yeah, I didn't really want to go through the mountains there. I'm gonna try this. The odds are terrible, but at least he gets a little bit of experience, and the odds of him actually getting injured were pretty low. So I maybe should have sunk those initial points into assassinate. Would have been better. But we'll probably the next point will go into assassinate. But anyway, we'll just try and get him leveled up for now and keep an eye on things. I think we're definitely going to come down here and sort out these two settlements. How many settlements actually does the Broken Nose? Well, I want to get rid of them. Okay, it's just those two settlements. So yeah, that's our current goal. Come down here, take these two settlements, and more than likely we're going to abandon them and let the dwarves settle them and just stay put in our fortified position. We're going to have war with Fred before too long, I'm sure. And what are we up to? Ooh, some Black Knights over there. Oh my gosh, odds are pretty even. Ooh. Alright, there we go. There we go. No problem. I will take the loot. How does that affect the public order? How are we looking? Ugh. Balance.
The nation calls.
Alright. We will just leave it for now. When the rebellion starts to show up again, do the same thing, pick up a general, load him up with spears, auto-resolve it, and at least that way we're getting a little bit of experience for a general and keeping things kind of under control. But it's a little bit of expensive to do it that way, but alright, next up, I think that additional melee defense is really important. and then we'll go with weapon strength, and then start working on trade and industry, I think, a little bit. Ooh, some of these are pretty good. Alright. Well, hopefully when we come down here we actually get a little bit of money. We've got the rebellion coming up here. Sort that out, pick up the artillery, and then we're gonna get on the move towards take out these settlements. So that's a goal for this episode. Try and sort out those the broken nose, get rid of them with Gelt.
What? Approach.
We're not going to get trade with these guys. We're going to end up at war with Wisenland for too long. Oops.
So.
Oh, maybe that's how we ended up at war with Karak Norn. Bronze was at war with them.
I hold Galmaras. A weak order.
Our relations are going down here. Great power trespasses. Oh, right, trespasses against her. Yeah, well, our trespass against the Empire. We had we'd sent a force over here. Then Altdorf got attacked, and we purchased an army to send there, and then we won the battle, and the army is trespassing. Totally ridiculous. I'm gonna start improving relationships with old Franzi. Good. I mean, we could try and improve the relations with Wisenland as well, I guess. But I feel like that'll be an easy, relatively easy war, which is what we might do after we deal with the broken nose. We'll see how things look. The day was waning to dusk. In the west, clouds buried the setting sun. Averheim was still distant. As he rode, Schwarzhelm felt the effects of a long day in the saddle begin to wear on his battle-ravaged body. The landscape around him looked eerily familiar. He knew he'd traveled along the same road just days before at the head of a conquering army. Now, he was riding back with an escort of less than a dozen riders, consumed with a mix of alien emotions. The certainties he'd enjoyed while pursuing the orcs had receded again. The further west he went, the more his mood began to return to one of darkness. The city was a curse for him, the home of the sickness that had blighted his sleep and impaired his judgment, and he was going back. The hooves of the horse thudded on the hard dirt of the track. The incessant rhythm began to have a soporific effect. Schwarzhelm shook his head, trying to clear the strands of sleep from his eyes. There were many miles of riding ahead. Neither he nor his bodyguard would rest more than they needed to. They all knew time was of the essence. Even as the light weakened, the rolling hills passed by. The uplands beyond Heideck were now far behind them. All around, the cattle country extended. The grass was still deep green despite weeks of beating sun. This country was blessed indeed. The folk of the Drakewald, huddled around their meager fires and living amongst their skinny animals, would have given anything to live in such rich plenty. Alright, so it would appear that Broken Nose are making their way Port Sol for another crack at I felt up. Another crack at this, but maybe the dwarves will get rid of them first.
Yes.
See what happens there. The dwarves will get rid of them.
They will be
Sir, what kind of odds you got here? Still 39%. That's still bad. Critical success. Good freaking job, dude. You know what? make him a specialist, and then we'll go assassinate next. Oh, which leveled up twice there. That's fantastic. Good job, man.
Tools of judgment ready.
All right. Well, maybe the dwarves
What do you want? Yes.
do our dirty work for us, which they look like they're pretty strong there. Strong force.
Let us begin. Impossible.
Son of a bitch. We don't even really need Gelt for this.
By the comet, I am in ascent.
We just use the garrison, but we'll use Gelt though anyway, since he's here for one, and because might as well get the experience with him. Ooh, you know what? There's a possibility we might steal these fucking things. Oh, son of a bitch. No, that's kind of risky actually now that I think about it, because it's not a big garrison. I think we're safe to auto-resolve this. Ooh, we lost the sword. That's okay, we can replace it right away anyway. Banners. No artillery though. With the additional cash. Yeah, we probably should. We should have fought that manually. I'm just being lazy there, to be honest. Alright, one more turn. And we've got the, or one more level up, and we've got his Pegasus. So we finished Quartermaster. We'll do Quicksilver next. And then we'll start focusing on his spells. Spells are making some of these are pretty good too. Alright, cool beans. In bad shape now though. The army, that is. Alright, so place that. Those mortars. Will be his army for now. Should have made more of an effort to get this upgraded. Would have start switching over to great swords, but at the same time, that would only be 100 more for each one. Well, 120 more. 2, 4, 6. So an additional 700. We definitely actually could afford it. 800. But it would give us a lot less flexibility with sorting out these rebellions. Things are good here in Templehof for now. We're weeding out some of the corruption. This will be built soon. That'll help as well. We're gonna get a rebellion down here soonish. But we'll do the same thing. We'll pick up a general there and deal with it. We're gonna get on the move with Gelt now. Should get replenishment along the way, and we should be alright. To get down here, and we'll try and move quickly and sort this war out.
Yes. Greetings,
and
my
then we
countrymen.
can focus on either taking out Weisenland or moving to deal with the vampires. Vampires look like they're expanding a little bit.
Does Franz not dare to come before me and kneel?
No further empires, men. No.
So,
Alright. But there was always a flaw, always an imperfection. Amid all the majesty of the Empire, there was corruption. Averland was no different. He felt it every night of the mission. How many days had he gone without proper sleep? Too many to keep count of. Man could only go so long before he started to lose his mind. Perhaps he was losing his mind. Others thought it. He'd heard the whispered rumors, seen the sidelong glances in his direction. Half of Aberheim probably doubted his state of equilibrium. There was a shout from further ahead. One of the outriders, mounted on a sleek mount of Araby, picked for speed, was riding back along to the road to meet them. Schwarzhelm called a halt. Freed from the tyranny of the whip, the horses stood shivering in the balmy air, flanks shiny with sweat. The rider came amongst them. As the man approached, Schwarzhelm noticed the gentle hiss of the grass around them. Fronds moved in the warm breeze like waves on the sea. Tips were tinged with the golden light of the sun, though the roots were hidden in darkness. All around them, as far as the eye could make out, they were surrounded by an ocean of grassland. It was like a scene from one of his dreams. Everything was moving. Everything was quiet. "My lord," cried the rider. His voice sounded suddenly harsh against the soft backdrop of the scene. "I've found something." "It had better be good," Schwarzhelm growled. His voice sounded thick and sullen. Even to him, the scout, experienced by the look of him, and from Aberheim garrison, swallowed nervously. "All the same, my lord, I think you should see this." Schwarzhelm looked into the west. The sun was still above the horizon. It would be perhaps half an hour of light just enough. "Lead on," he ordered, kicking his horse into motion once more. Alright. What do we got? Did they get rid of that army?
Seek out the heretics.
War coordination targets lost.
I trust no man. Who calls?
So they did not get rid of the army.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Okay. I
Now.
felt like we had moved him through that region previously, but I guess I could be mistaken.
Onwards. For
Actually,
Sigmar.
come down this way. Maybe. Oh, okay, there they are. There they are.
Iron Hammer.
Alright, let's see if they move towards it. I guess that was the obvious place where they would go. 4 turns. Off. Good. On the other hand, get that upgraded. Always upgrade that next turn. Fences. Well, we do want to get them upgraded. They're pretty good for now. Let's actually do that. Let's get on that. Oh, son of a bitch. We're here. Oh, okay, right. Never mind. I'm gonna say we're here to recruit those artillery pieces, but we have already recruited the artillery.
The Empire.
I'm gonna have to sit at Fort Sol for a little while. Get some replenishment. I should have maybe merged some of these. Damn it, we should have sat in Fedorf. This is slowly gonna get worse. But for now it's okay. I mean, we can always turn the taxes up. Leave them on for now. Gonna end up with another rebellion there eventually, and another rebellion here eventually. Pick up a general in another turn or two.
Yes.
Approach and make your offer. That I make note. I don't agree.
I don't know if we should be trying to get non-aggression with them.
What? Greetings from
Definitely
Sigmar.
want non-aggression with the Bronze. Don't really want to fight with Franz. And that effect, give him a little boost there. Shouldn't be too difficult to get rid of these guys. I just don't want to go down there with a banged up army. The scout turned, and the party followed him further along the road for some distance. No one spoke. The only sound was the faint noise of the grass in the breeze. In the east, far behind them and over the distant line of the World's Edge Mountains, the first of the stars became visible. Night was drawing on fast. Schwarzhelm knew where they were headed long before he could make out exactly what the scout wanted to show them. A few hundred yards from the road, a narrow track curved away and off into the fields. The earth was rutted and uneven, and the grass on either verge had been flattened recently. Without needing to ask for directions, Schwarzhelm nudged his steed to follow the branching path. He soon saw why the scout had turned from the road to follow the path. Carrion crows, dozens of them. They looked as large and ragged as vultures against the darkling sky. Some wheeled around, black in the dusk, moving in lazy circles. Others perched on the branches of the trees, looking at them intently with their glossy eyes. None of the birds uttered so much as a caw. They had the air of sentries, silent watchers of the night. Crows were as common as the pox all across the empire, but these had an unsavory look. Perhaps it was the unnatural heat in the air, or the silence, or their size. Whatever it was, the effect was unnerving. Oh, son of a bitch. I just dropped the book. Right, speaking of unnerving. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I really don't see... It's a little bit better quality troops than they've had previously. But the trolls, not really going to do much. The rock globber probably will be a non-factor, so long as we stay back far enough. Haven't really had any difficulty with these guys thus far. They have no range support this time around, aside from the rock globber, that is. But we shouldn't have a whole lot of problems here. We'll just do the same thing we've done, and get rid of these guys. Our troops are a little bit more experienced now too. So one of the things in the update, the AI now gets passive experience. So even if they're not fighting battles, they slowly gain experience over time on legendary difficulty. I don't think we're gonna, we're not gonna defend the walls. Lined up here, boys. There.
What do you bid? Great swords.
Good. Ah, shit. Fucked up. The wrong greatsword over here. Yeah, all good. Yeah, do the same thing with these guys. Keep them back here. Yeah, I didn't seem too interested in them last time around.
Mortar! Ready for war! Crossbowmen! The Empire endures! The Empire endures! By Sigmar's will!
Don't want the same thing to happen as last time when
Missiles at the ready!
we got some a little bit of fire from the rock lobbers. Range right up to there. Alright, start it up. I think I moved everyone. I hope so anyway.
For the comet! Ready! Form a ring of steel!
Yeah, everybody should be on guard mode, really.
Shields up! Form a ring of steel!
Everybody with the exception of the... Oh man, fucking cannon. The range on that bad boy. I'm taking out some trolls. Cut things off.
Sigmar, show us!
Guys, I'll
Save
fire it well.
ammunition!
For now.
The Empire endures! Guns of no!
There. Bad. Target.
Great cannon! Pick
him.
your targets!
And they do the same thing every freaking time.
Artillery units!
Alright, just hold up.
Stop!
Wait till they get up here a little bit closer.
We are ready! Deploy the cannons! Ready ammunition! For the twin-tailed comet! Move out!
Move you up a little bit. Get a better angle. Go on.
Soldiers of the
Get into
Empire!
these trolls coming through the pit there.
Missile infantry! Show us the foe! Crossbows ready, General!
It's just gonna hang out on the walls. Is that your plan?
Mortar! Yes, my lord!
Yeah, this is the other thing that they do. They're just not very coordinated in their attack either. They're just coming at us in pieces here. This is the opportunity to do a fair bit of damage to them. Let's turn around.
By Ulrich's wrath!
Let's just stay in position for now.
Mortar! By Ulrich's wrath! Crossbowmen!
Wait till they commit to this fight.
Ready for war!
Get into position here. Albert should be okay to hold them.
Ready for war! Steady, man!
I'm gonna bring you over to help out.
For Heldenhammer! Glory to the Empire!
go, boys. Kill some trolls. That was real sad. That charge right there. I'll throw you guys into the fight too. Back up. I think it's because the. Must have been because the unit that I had attacked wasn't the unit that they ran into first. I think it's probably what happened there. You're not gonna catch them. Just finish these guys off. There's my Empire Captain here. Alright, let's charge into this. The rest of the reinforcements show up. Not sending anybody over to this side here. Back on fire well. Into my cannon. Ooh, shit. Alright, pull back. That's you guys can finish him off, that'd be great. We need to get back into position over here. Or into formation rather. Alright, let him go. Hit him.
To battle! Ready! We serve friends! Prepare for combat!
Might be able to finish him off with the Empire Knights there.
Ready for war! Formation, march! Elevate cannon!
Crossbows might finish him off. Actually, I guess it probably shouldn't kill him. It will just end up getting a new replacement. Where'd my Empire Knights go? There you go.
Formation march!
You guys can take out the rock clobber. Alright. Charge, boys. There we go, that's more like it. Very nice.
Sigma guides us. For Heldenhammer! Charge!
Run them down. Alright, looking good. It's almost over. Another charge in. There we go. Another easy defense here at Fort Seoul. A little bit of damage on the one halberd, but aside from that, we are pretty much unscathed. Rudy Foybach. Yeah, it'd be good to get rid of these guys once and for all. Been a real freaking nuisance this whole time. boy. Load screen seems to be a little bit taking longer than usual. Any day now. Definitely is soon time for an upgrade for my PC. I mean, it's definitely still a very solid machine. Just the biggest weakness that it has is the fact that it's the fact that it's the games are not on an SSD. I've got all of my system files on an SSD, but the Steam folder and all that stuff is on a hard drive, traditional hard drive. So one of the first things I want to upgrade is I want to get a second SSD for all the games. And then the other thing that I want to upgrade is I want to get a little bit more RAM. I mean, I've got 32 gigs of RAM, but I've got enough space for 64, which is what I intended to get in when I built the PC. Oh man, our strength ranking between us and the Broken Nose is actually pretty weak, according to that. Means they must have a Alright, what have we got here? You find that a cargo ship containing treasure rightfully belonging to you, plundered by your very own men from the temple cities of Lustria, had recently arrived in Marienburg. Cargo ship was not of your state, however its crew had claimed the plunder as salvage after your own prize transport galleon shipwrecked on some uncharted rocky islets out of the great ocean. You send your retinue to Marienburg to forcibly claim what you consider to be rightfully yours, which will at least cover the cost of your lost galleon. Upon arriving, however, they discover the cargo ship containing your treasure belongs to Stirland. I'm gonna leave the treasure at... yeah, whatever. Only 800 gold. A lot of events, a lot of Empire events, a lot of stuff going on in the Empire. Darkness. Look at this, because can't trade out here. We're working on. You know what? I think I want to get that built. Improve the garrison here. Province is kind of on its own there. Next turn, we'll pick up a general here in Karak-Harun. Start recruiting some troops. Alright, we're not in great shape. These guys are in forced march and they're not in good shape either. And yeah, it was a good choice to not kill him. Because, bad shape. So I think what we'll do now, execute the captives. Alright, cool. A couple more regiments around. Oh! Offer their services. I've managed to meet the legendary duo Gotrek and Felix while they travel through the province. Over St. Tancred's about, Gotrek reveals to you that he's seeking the most heroic death possible. Felix suggests that he and Gotrek join your cause. The Slayer seems unenthusiastic at first, but is soon persuaded that you can help him achieve the great doom he craves. Felix tells you privately that really he welcomes the safety in numbers our forces really will provide. I'm gonna hire them just for the hell of it.
My Axe's bloodthirst is sated, but my doom is yet to come.
The written word shall immortalize the horrors I have witnessed.
Could be useful. And now ours to command.
It is time.
So how long? So we have them for 20 turns.
Yes.
All right, Gelt. Now on his Pegasus, which is gonna make him a lot more versatile.
Do not waste.
All right, we could continue moving. I think what I want to do is I just want to
Pick up the pace.
park in here for a turn to get that additional replenishment. Where the fuck are these guys? Did I need to leave space in the army for the two of them? They were right here. Will only remain for a limited time. Maybe we have to pop them in an army? I don't know. Maybe we have to actually physically recruit them, but we'll see. Maybe we can recruit them next turn. Maybe we'll be able to use them in this battle. Anyway, when we have the rebellion there, we'll find out whether or not we can get a hold of them. Alright, come on down here. Keep your scouting going.
Stop that!
Garrison's not
Show
too
me the
bad.
accused. Speak.
Just block army just to get a little bit more experience for old Geralt here.
Yes, blessed is this action. Yes. To battle.
It's nice to see you guys are actually getting off your asses out of the mountain there. Getting on the move. This unit will be replenished by special events. Gotcha.
The Empire.
Ooh, border princes.
Greetings, stranger.
Trade with you guys.
Not in my name.
You don't want to trade. Rude.
This action does not
Bonds.
help.
Ready
Friends of
for
the
some
Empire.
non-aggression. Not yet. I saw them from the road, my lord, said the scout. Kept his voice low, eyes watchful. There it is, a ramshackle shed, isolated in the dark grassland. The fading sunlight leaked through the gaps in the wood. It had only half a roof, and one of the walls had slumped into ruin. Perhaps it had been an old barn. Schwarzhelm halted, felt as if an icy fist had clenched around his heart. He could feel his pulse quicken. Are you all right, sir? Well, we'll dismount, he said gruffly. From here, we go on foot. The men did as they were ordered. They swung stiffly from their saddles, legs sore from hours of riding. Schwarzhelm felt his own frame creaking as he landed heavily on the earth. The ground was baked hard. He could feel the waves of heat rising from it. Even as the sun edged towards the horizon, Averland still sweltered. The men waited for him to move. Schwarzhelm could sense their fear. He stalked towards the ruined barn. Above him, the crows circled. Their loops seemed to compress. They were inquisitive. He ignored them, but kept his hand on the sword. On the northern wall of the barn, a wide opening gaped. It was hard to see much of what lay beyond the stone door frame. The shadows were now long. A sickly sweet smell wafted across the air. For a moment Schwarzhelm couldn't place it. Was that jasmine? He went closer. The aroma was more familiar than that. It was the mark of battlefields across the old world. The reek of death, of bodies rotting in the mud. That was what the crows were there for. Boris Todbringer, electors go to war. Finland and Hochland have been unable to reconcile their differences, and tensions have bubbled over into full-blown war. Elector Count Boris Todbringer of Midland has declared war on Hochland. What action will we take? Side with Hochland, side with Midland. Imperial authority +1. I kind of want to increase our imperial authority if we can. Get this back into a positive direction. So we need to be fighting more battles to keep that imperial authority improving. Alright, so yeah, we're getting rid of some of the corruption now that we've got the old shrine here and that this untainted, which is helping us quite a bit. And I mean, the building's giving us a huge bonus, so we might actually get the public order balanced over there, despite the fact that we have nasty, ugly looking neighbors. Alright, so Karakarin, we gotta pick up a lord. Just bring back Marius. Putting him in there actually stops the rebellion for now.
The Empire.
Characters is 7. What do we got here? Iron Disciplinarian and Authoritarian. Let's take these off for now. Goes to -2.
It is time. The nation calls.
And give them time to pick up a couple of these guys. Where the... I don't know, maybe I haven't, I don't know, I guess I haven't unlocked the thing to pick up these guys because I don't know, I don't know how we recruit them. Don't see them anywhere. There's no option to get them there. We'll need to work on his quest sometime soon, but for now, we'll just leave it. Alright, I know I said I wanted to move quickly, get rid of these guys. Oh, look at this! Dwarves might actually do it for us. Oh, here's the final settlement.
Pick up the pace. Let me think about it. No.
What brings you before the heir of Lund?
Actually,
Land of Shaman, I will.
getting replenishment through here anyway, because it's allied territory.
Very well.
And it's safe to force march as well. Yeah, we'll try and get down here quickly. If the dwarves join us, all the better. If not, we'll just sack it and then occupy it, let it rebel, and then let the dwarves move in there and settle it. Because I don't want to, obviously, don't want to have settlement way down here, separated from the rest of our teeny tiny empire that we've got right now. Yeah, I think vampire's definitely a good target. Wizened Lands, not a bad target either. Probably vampires. Vampire's probably a better target. Schwarzhelm looked up at them grimly. He'd deprived them of their meal. That, at least, was something. "You've been inside?" he asked the scout. The man shook his head, looking ashamed. "Aye, it seemed," he began, then trailed off. For once, Schwarzhelm couldn't bring himself to reprimand him. The cold voice of dread was wrapped hard around his own breast. Sorry, a cold vice of dread was wrapped hard around his own breast. Nothing, not the last golden rays of the sun nor the warming balm of the dusk air, could shift it. He merely nodded in response. "Be on your guard, then," he said, drawing his sword. It gave a metallic rasp as it left the scabbard. "Stay watchful." Turning back to the barn, he took a deep breath and ducked under the lintel. Inside, the stench was thick and cloying. Schwarzhelm felt his gorge rise and clasped his hand over his mouth. For a moment, he couldn't see anything at all. Then his eyes adjusted to the gloom. Gaps in the ruined roof and the part collapsed walls let in enough of the evening light to begin to make some sense of the interior. Couldn't see how many corpses there were. Perhaps a dozen, maybe more. All men, soldiers, by the look of them. Some of their armor still remained on them. Grunwald's men, some Averheim troops, here and there, sword edge glinted. There was little flesh visible. One cadaver, strewn across the rough earth floor on his back, lay in the middle of a pool of weak light. His skin was grey, his eyes had been long pecked out by the crows, and there were holes in his cheeks and neck. His expression was fixed in agony. His death had been painful, possibly prolonged. Not all his injuries looked like the work of carrion fowl. Migration. Great migration comes to our borders to manage shelter from larger threats abroad. Do we let them cross our territory or turn them away? Nothing. More migration. Growth plus 15, public order minus 3, all provinces. The growth I really want. Public order I don't, but it'll be okay. Oh, we'll figure it out. Alright, so we're getting a rebellion here. Next turn. Pick up 2 of those. We might have to fight this manually. Get the defenses built here. Let's get this upgraded. Looking good, looking good. Temple Hoff. I'm not going to turn the taxes off yet. So the corruption is going down, which is helping the public order. We do have the option to turn the taxes off there. So, him recruiting these troops might actually stop the rebellion, I'm not sure.
Do not waste my potential.
Grunwald, how we looking? Your armor 95. Really deadly blade. Alright, yeah, the orcs are, or so the dwarves are moving to the target.
Seek out the heretics.
Up, level up again. Pop that into assassinate, but I don't know that I want to force march here.
I'd rather eat a squig.
Yeah, we better not force march. That's a full stack right there.
Summon me.
don't know what kind of movement they have. They have movement disabled. They can't move.
Let me think about
They
it.
will be able to move after they recruit.
Ready. I stand defiant.
What kind of movement does he have?
The Empire.
Yeah, I feel like it's just too risky to move into force march.
Yes,
I'd rather eat a squig.
now.
Same time, I don't want them to. I want to give them the opportunity to recruit too quickly. Play it safe.
End of Shaman, I will. I am the Supreme Patriarch. I am the Supreme Patriarch.
We're gonna gamble. Fuck it.
Zogov. What?
Chances are they'll probably attack the Dwarven force first, but they.
To the provinces.
Credit to them, they're following our war coordination target right there to a T. So, though it's looking like it's gonna get them killed. What can you do? Anyway, when Gelt makes his way back up here, we're gonna upgrade his army to great swords. That is, if he doesn't get himself killed down here. Minute rebellion, that's alright.
Yes?
Guys up for some
I
trade
am
or
ready to
what?
parley. I hope your words.
Affirmative.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
The nation called
Beautiful.
Friends of the Empire. Not likely.
Don't have a lot of prestige at the moment, but they'll spend it on Franz. Alright, cool. Schwarzhelm looked up at them grimly. He'd deprived them of their meal. That at least was something. Oh, whoops. Okay. Sorry, guys. We read that part already. Schwarzhelm felt his heart begin to beat harder. He consciously quelled it. He'd seen hundreds of bodies in his time, many in more terrible places. This was no different. Outside the barn, grass continued to hiss in the breeze. It was as if the place was surrounded by a host of whispering ghosts. He looked away, down at the floor for a moment, trying to collect himself. He could feel his composure fraying. Days without sleep were getting to him. Something about this whole scene was getting to him. He turned back to his men. A couple of them had followed him in and were gazing at the piled bodies with disguised nausea. Others held back, unwilling to enter the stinking interior. Come, said Schwarzhelm, feeling sick at heart. There's nothing more to see here. Once outside again, he took a deep draught of pure air. It did little to fill the sense of corruption he felt about him. His bodyguard looked at him expectantly. Was it as I feared? Asked the scout, looking nervous. They were Commander Grunwald's troops. Schwarzhelm nodded. He knew exactly what they'd been. Riders sent back along the old dwarf road to request reinforcements. Each of them had been waylaid, killed, their bodies dumped in a forgotten barn a mile from the trade route. Schwarzhelm himself must have ridden past the place on the journey east, oblivious of the secret contained within. Stumbling across it now was a rare chance, perhaps more than that. The treasury bonus would be nice, but I don't want the corruption. Ostermark is destroyed. Raiding? What the fuck?
You what?
Really? Really? What? Oh, okay, right. these guys confederated, and now they're coming back as another faction. Oh, we can get this upgraded to level 4. That's curious. This actually may require some more troops. These guys will be useful. And these guys with them. 12 versus 8. Yeah, should be okay there.
I am ready. Are you?
Down here.
Battle?
Oh, did they defeat
Show me
the
the accused.
oh, look at this. That's
Let us
perfect.
begin. That will work.
Whoa, son of a bitch. Do not have enough movement here? Oh.
By the comet.
Guessed out of range. Son of a bitch.
Ulrich's will.
Which means
Ready.
our dwarven friends are gonna get there first. And why the fuck does this keep getting lower? Lower. Because I keep spending, I guess it's prestige? I don't know. Ooh, the
Praise Sigmar.
negative public order is not going to help things.
Into
Alright, let's
battle.
get rid of these dwarves. We'll fight this and then call it a day. I don't think that's going to help out too much. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a tricky battle. Fucking hell, we don't have any cavalry, do we? There's no cavalry unit that we can hire here. The Regiment of Renown is there. These guys don't have vanguard, do they? Hide in the forest. Alright.
I will marshal the men.
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll fight this next episode. Sorry guys, I just this battle might take 5 or 10 minutes. We might have to just sort of cheese them a little bit. Because they've got the artillery advantage. I mean, it's not gonna be too tough. But I'm not sure how long it's gonna take. And we're at the hour mark, so I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we will be back for episode 9 tomorrow, most likely. See you then. Ragnarok out.